The Xfinity race today, it's actually going to have a longer final stage than the Cup race tomorrow. Do you feel like the fourth stage, the final stage, should be more than just the 100 laps each one currently is?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I think it kind of does make sense, I guess, to just split ours up even. But yeah, I mean, I think that's something that could be looked at in the future. Maybe just shortening each of the first three stages a little bit, create a longer one for the final one. That way, the strategy is a little different. Really by the time we get to the third and fourth stage, we kind of have an idea of what we need to do, and it's pretty predictable. If there's not a caution, so I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
And then last week at the All-Star Open, there was the controversy about the choose box not being completely visible to Ryan. What's your experience with it? Is it usually visible, or are there times where it's not completely clear?
Yeah, I thought that was a unique circumstance, but at the same time, they do mark the catch fence, and really that's the visual I tend to look for more than anything, is just to get a visual on the fence to see exactly where that it's kind of like a flag looking mark, just to know that way it don't creep up on you. But yeah, it was really hard to see, honestly, and I didn't really notice it until I saw Ryan's penalty and the pictures of it, and then obviously the repainting it helped a lot for the race, for the main race. But yeah, I don't know, it's just a weird circumstance there. I feel for Ryan. Those kind of things can happen, and sometimes it's hard to see in the heat of the moment, and it's just part of racing, I guess.
And you guys have shown speed on pretty much every mile and a half this year. When preparing for Charlotte, looking at Charlotte, what mile and a half would it be most similar to in terms of how it races performance-wise?
I would say Vegas, just high grip, fast. Obviously, a lot of bumps. Vegas has a lot of bumps in 1 and 2. Here it's more, but more so in 3 and 4. So I think we can take things we learned from there and apply. And yeah, of course, it's been fast, and we just have to execute. It's going to be a long night on Sunday, and just stay in the game and be there at the end. Thank you.
I don't know that anybody's really ready, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of how that race shakes out, how track limits affect it. Running it in the sim, there's a lot of different areas that could be interpreted different ways, so it'll be interesting to see that.
The final stage of the Xfinity race today is going to be longer than the final stage of the 600 tomorrow. Do you feel like the stage 4 should be longer than the 4 sets of 100 that it currently is?
Oh, that's not something I've thought about. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I mean, we have a green flag cycle in every stage. I don't know. I mean, I think you could say we should be old school and not have stages in this race and just let it run, and then some people would probably be mad there's no cautions and it get real strung out. So hard to say, but it is interesting that an Xfinity stage is longer than the 600, but kind of just looking at the cards we're dealt and trying to execute those 100-lap stages the best we can.
And last week at North Wilkesboro, the choose, at least in the Open, the choose box wasn't visible to Ryan. Is that a common occurrence where the choose box isn't always visible, or is it most part pretty visible for the drivers?
It depends on the week. Some weeks it's tougher than others. I think the next-gen car in general is pretty difficult to see out of with kind of how the dash lays out and everything in front of you. But, yeah, I mean, for most of the time you can see it. And the thing that sucks is, like, Ryan obviously was trying to go low, right? Like, it wasn't like he was last minute about it or anything like that. He just unfortunately ran it over, and that's the rule. So, yeah, last week was pretty bad for sure. I think they saw that because they painted it, but the rule is the rule.
Thank you.
Chase, I got a couple for you. You've been partnered with Amazon Prime for a couple of races this season, and Coke 600 is their first broadcast. What's that partnership been like, bringing a new partner in and working with those guys?
Yeah, it's been really good, honestly. They've been a pleasure to work with so far. Very professional, and obviously very established in the sports world as of late, and they've just done a good job investing in the right things, in my opinion. I think the talent that they have slated to come in this weekend is well done. I think how these stories are told some weeks can make something exciting or not, and I think people engage with the right people better, than the wrong people. And obviously having the cameraman and all the things that go on behind the scenes right as well. It's certainly a full effort, but just everything I've been a part of so far, it's been first class. And from my perspective, that's really all you can ask for from a partner and somebody that's ready to activate, properly with our sport.
And the other one I have for you is the Xfinity stage. The last one is longer than the Cup stage. You think that's a good thing, or it should be switched, or do you have any opinions on that?
No opinion.
No opinion.
We have time for one more.
Curious, how does this race continue to still test drivers as a test of man and machine, because it is the longest race of the year? What is that test like for you behind the wheel and the durability of these cars these days?
Yeah, I don't think it's as much of a test of machine anymore, but certainly being that's probably shifted a little more into the driver's side. I would say what has gone away from the machine side, I think, has probably been put more on the driver's side, just because keeping track position, you're not just gonna get it right back. So used to, I feel like you could kind of get away with getting behind here or there and being able to catch back up and get yourself in a good position. And you can, don't get me wrong, you can in the right circumstances, but the best thing to do is be locked in for 600 miles and keep your track position, be up front, and that's hard to do. It's a long time.
This is Custom Patch Hats. But what makes us custom? Well, that actually begins with you. We're just bringing your unique vision to life. No knockoffs, no lookalikes. Your design is one of a kind. We know hats, we know design, and we know quality. The proof? It's in our production. Hand-stitched with precision and care, with brands you know and trust. A one-of-a-kind patch deserves a one-of-a-kind treatment, all the way to your doorstep. It's how we keep it custom.
Steven Stumpf of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.